Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be giving my match preview between Liverpool and Arsenal. And what a game we are set for. Two of the three biggest clubs in England are facing off each other, Liverpool and Arsenal at Anfield, and both teams have a lot to gain to get the 3 points. Obviously Liverpool lost their last game against West Ham, so they do not want to give up any more ground to the likes of Chelsea and Manchester City, and Arsenal have still yet to overcome the mental hurdle of actually winning at Anfield. When was the last time they actually won at Anfield in the Premier League? It's been like 6 to 7 years or so, always getting thrashed. So both teams, both managers have yet a lot to prove, a lot to gain from this game, and hopefully for Liverpool's sake, because I'm a Liverpool fan, hopefully we win quite easily like we usually do. But before going into this video, you know what I'm going to say, make sure you guys like, comment and hit that big subscribe button right there, and make sure you guys in the comment section give me your own thoughts to the build up of the game and what both managers should do to set up their teams. So the first talking point I'm going to be talking about in terms of this game is Liverpool, and obviously it's game played at home at Anfield, and Arsenal have felt the venom, they've felt the wrath, they've felt the volcano eruptions at Anfield before, where they've been absolutely decimated, destroyed, humiliated and embarrassed at Anfield. They've lost 5-1 in title charges like in 2014 when they were looking to win the title, when obviously they dropped points near the end of the season, and they've been thrashed 4-0 3 or 4 years ago. That they've been destroyed and absolutely embarrassed, so they know how it feels like to feel Liverpool's wrath, when obviously we know in the first 20 to 25 minutes the fans, the players, the intensity is there for the home side, and Arsenal always get blown away. We are getting a lot of people saying that this back four Arsenal have is actually quite very good. Obviously it's very early on in the season, but we have seen already in moments, in spurts, that they actually have the determination, they have the capability, and they have the ability to actually defend leads or even get points away from home they shouldn't even be getting. We saw them go away home to Brighton and literally in the bad weather getting relentless attacks from the 6'7" defenders Brighton do have, and getting bombarded with crosses. The defenders defended very well, like White and Gabriel, and were able to keep a clean sheet in a game where they didn't have any real attacks or any real opportunities in scoring goals. And that sort of determination, that sort of courage, that sort of conviction is what Arsenal are going to need to defend themselves in the first 20 to 25 minutes at Anfield, because we know, like we've seen in the past, like I said, the Arsenal can get absolutely blown away and caught in the tornado at Anfield. So this is going to be a very, very good test for this back four to see actually how far they've come along, because obviously they've been facing some nice favourable oppositions in the past. However, they did keep a clean sheet against Leicester, winning 2-0 as well, and that's nothing to laugh at, because we know Leicester are one of the top 7 teams in the country as well. So yeah, Arsenal fans, I'm not saying that they should be thinking they're going to win this game or even get a point, but at least they should have some faith in their side that potentially they can limit the goals they concede, because we know in the past they've conceded literally 3+ pretty much every season at Anfield. So potentially if they can keep the game close, potentially only be down by 1 goal in the 75th, 70th minute, it's all to play for. But in terms of as a unit, they must stay compact, they must defend as a group, they must defend as a unit coming into this game. They must not have any lapses of concentration, they must not be clumsy and play to the occasion rather than the game itself, because if we get caught up in Liverpool's style of play with the intensity, the speed, flying to challenges, I promise you there's only going to be one winner, because we know we've seen teams do it in the past, AC Milan, Atletico Madrid. If you actually want to step towards Liverpool, we just have that extra 10 to 20% energy from the fans, and we're going to get to every loose ball first. So Arsenal must stay compact, defensive, be smart, be precise when it comes to obviously when you want to intercept and win the ball and try counter attack. But in the first 20 minutes you must set yourself a solid foundation, a solid platform, so you can grow and ease into the game, and potentially when the Liverpool players tire out a little bit, you can get into the game and create chances yourself. So the next matchup I'm going to be talking about is the midfield battle, and let me just start off with Liverpool. Obviously we lost 3 against West Ham, and defensively we are a shambolic, a shambles, and Arsenal should look to take advantage of this. But even in moments of the game, I just felt like, even in moments of last season as well, there's just too much pressure sometimes on the fullbacks to create your chances. Obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold has been performing marvellous this season, creating assists and an opportunity after opportunity for our strikers, whereas Robertson has teetered a little bit, obviously tired, played a lot of games and hasn't performed up to scratch. But I just feel like sometimes there should be placed more responsibility on the midfielders to give the fullbacks a breather when creating chances. players like Oxlade-Chamberlain played against West Ham, and I just feel like he was completely ineffective. Against a low block, let me give West Ham credit, obviously a resolute, structured, compact unit who know how to defend leads and know how to defend as a group. I feel like Chamberlain suits much more of a frantic style of play, end-to-end football, not when he has to pick up the ball in little pockets and try to thread the ball through an eye of a needle to create a chance. That's not his sort of game. And in the game against Arsenal, obviously they're not as resolute and structured compared to West Ham, because I think West Ham are one of the best defensive teams in the league. However, it's going to be hard to break the shape, especially when we do not have the personnel. So I think Chamberlain needs to sit out this game, and it's probably going to be a massive miss that we do not have Harvey Elliott going into this game since he just recovered from his ankle injury. I feel like Thiago needs to come on and play next to Henderson and Fabinho. Those two obviously provide that defensive stability and security, so it allows him to have the license to go forward, roam forward, and create chances. And I feel like he'll control the speed, the tempo of the game. He's not going to lose the ball. He has great ball retention, because if we lose the ball and make it easy for Arsenal, we know Smith-Rowe and their other creative midfielders have the ability to drive with the ball and literally create chances for their strikers. So Liverpool need to make sure they limit that by keeping the ball and not giving away the ball clumsily, so that Arsenal players like Smith-Rowe can take advantage of this. But in terms of Thiago, just an all-round midfielder, he's silky. He knows how to thread the ball into pockets where you feel like potentially can be intercepted. But I feel like he must start this game, and we saw near the end of last season, in the last 9 to 10 games, fans and people don't like talking about it, but he's one of the most important, significant factors why Liverpool got into the top 4. He really stepped up to form when he finally had Fabinho, that solid defensive base behind him, and Henderson, who's obviously a workhorse player who can cover pockets of space where Thiago's not really defending. He was so instrumental for Liverpool getting into the top 4, so we cannot forget that. In terms of Arsenal, I feel like they're obviously going to play a 4-2-3-1. It's going to be interesting to see how Mikel Arteta sets up, who is going to play in the two midfielders. Obviously, the scares that Partey might start because he still might be injured. He still might not be recovered in time for the game against Liverpool. But if he doesn't play, it's going to be a massive miss, man, because we know, like 2 years ago, so be it 2 years ago, he was instrumental to help Atletico Madrid beat Liverpool in the quarterfinals of the last 16 of the Champions League, and he had presence, he had physique, he was winning the ball early on the ground, intercepting the ball, making good challenges, and his experience, if Lukonga is going to be next to him, he's going to be able to guide him throughout the whole game, because sometimes you don't want your young players like Lukonga to be reckless and try and go for the ball, and next thing you know, there's a whole new space of avenue for players like Salah and Mane to operate in and potentially get a goal. I feel like Partey is going to be so instrumental because his presence is pivotal if Arsenal have ever any opportunity of actually nicking a point this game. I know Maitland-Niles had a great performance against Watford FC when they won 1-0. However, we all know there's levels to this. There's one thing having a great performance against Watford, and there's another thing having a great performance against Liverpool, who have been absolutely magnificent this season, potentially, who have only lost one game all season. So obviously I feel like Partey, you need your best players in the biggest games, and he's going to be pivotal if Arsenal have any chance to win this midfield battle against the Liverpool side, who have their own midfield, a 3-man midfield, plus the fans supporting them, which gives them a 4th extra midfielder if you really want to say so. So going into this game, Partey must start if he's fit, and I feel like Mikel Arteta will make this call. So the last aspect of the game I'm going to be talking about is the attack. And I know what people say, defense wins championships, but attack wins you games. And obviously this is a game we're going to play between Liverpool and Arsenal, and your strikers need to score goals to make sure you get the 3 points. So going into this game, let me just talk about Arsenal's attack. And we know Lacazette and Aubameyang have been performing great together as a partnership. We've seen over the course of this season in spurts that they have the chemistry, they have the understanding, they know each other's games, they know when Lacazette needs to drop, hold up, shield the ball, and they know when Aubameyang needs to run in behind. And they actually show, because we've seen other managers like Emery, even Longberg, and even Arteta at times be hesitant to play both of them in the same system. But at this point in time, it's looking like it's working. And it'll be interesting to see what Mikel Arteta does in terms of this game. Because I said in the Leicester game, I didn't think it would have been wise to start both of them at the same time, because obviously it's just does not provide you the balance going against a team which Leicester are going to have most of the ball. But in terms of this game against Liverpool, I'm still in the same mindset. I just feel like playing both of them. I know Lacazette obviously works very, very hard for the team. He does run around. He does try get into tackles. He does get stuck in. He's not a lazy player who'll give you 110%. But I just feel like it will ruin the balance of the team. I feel like Smith-Rowe has to play in the cam role, the number 10, right behind Aubameyang. Because when Arsenal pick up the ball, obviously try to intercept the ball from Liverpool and break down the play, Smith-Rowe is obviously one of the best players in the league in carrying the ball at intense speed to get it to the likes of Aubameyang or even the fullbacks who are on either side. If you play Lacazette there, he's obviously better in the hold-up play and he doesn't have that speed and intensity that Smith-Rowe has. Obviously, you can play Smith-Rowe on the left-hand side, but then that just ruins another aspect of the game because you know you need more pace on the left-hand side. If a Trent goes forward, you want someone to be in that cheating position already up there to have that pace in behind, which when Trent won't be able to recover. And we know Smith-Rowe doesn't have that intense speed. So if you move Smith-Rowe into the cam role and maybe play Pepe, Martinelli on the left-hand side, that will provide you more balance. But at the same time, it was kind of unfair to drop Lacazette, who we know has been performing well this season. So it is a question of, do you play players on form or do you play players on balance? And I feel like he should play players based off the balance of the team. And I think Aubameyang needs to start forward with the likes of Smith-Rowe just behind him and potentially another pacey player on the left-hand side when Trent does bomb forward. However, at the same time, it might be seen as a risk starting Aubameyang because we know he hasn't been in the best of form. The way he's striking the ball, he doesn't have any real confidence or conviction. We saw this against Watford when he literally cost 2 offside goals and missed a penalty. He doesn't really have the confidence, like I said, to score these all-important goals. And against Liverpool, we know Arsenal are not going to have that many chances, and you need a clinical number 9 who has the confidence that they only need 1 or 2 chances to put the ball in the back of the net. And maybe in this time, Aubameyang is not the right player. But at the end of the day, I think he's still Arsenal's best goal scorer. So be it he's declined in the last year or so. I feel like there's no other player I'd want the ball into feet to actually try score a goal except for Aubameyang in this Arsenal side. So going into this game, Aubameyang must start. Who just had to find form during the game and potentially get Arsenal to win, because I feel like this is only Arsenal's real method to winning this game. Obviously, I feel like his pace in behind is going to threaten Liverpool, just like we saw Antonio was a big threat to Matip. I feel like Aubameyang should peel onto the side of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Matip. Try isolate one of the two and get into one-on-one duels, because obviously if you go against Van Dijk or Robertson, you don't really have a chance. And potentially, this is your best opportunity to score a goal, because we know this is Aubameyang's favourite position. On that inside left, curling onto his right foot and trying to get a finesse goal into the far corner. We've seen him do it countless of times over his career, and I feel like he should go back to this against Liverpool, especially a Liverpool side who are going to play the high line. I feel like there are other key matchups in this game, like Mane versus Tomiyasu. I know Tomiyasu had a great performance against Son, but that's a Tottenham side who are lacking confidence, lacking ambition under Nuno. I feel like this matchup against Mane is going to be completely different, because we know Tomiyasu is performing well as a right back, but he doesn't really have that feel of a right back. I don't feel like he's mobile. I don't think he's quick. I don't feel like he can change direction very quickly. And we know Mane is a very tricky, slippery player to play against, because when he picks up the ball, he can go one way and another in a very intense speed. And it'll be interesting to see if Tomiyasu can literally keep up with this. So it's going to be a good test for him. The last section I'm going to be talking about is who's going to win the game. And obviously, I'm not going to lie, I feel like Liverpool are going to win. I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm going to stick with this. I have not seen Arsenal beat us for the last 5 or 6 years or so at Anfield. I don't remember the last time, it feels like centuries ago. I'm not saying we're going to blow them out, because I feel like Arsenal, they're smarter, they have understanding of the positioning where they're supposed to be, and they can be resolute at times like we've seen in the past. However, Liverpool have just too much quality going forward. Potentially Firmino might not start, but we know Jota has scored against Arsenal in the past, home and away in last year's season, so he's going to have a field goal against them. So I feel like Liverpool will win. I feel like Arsenal going forward, they're just not sharp enough to take advantage of Liverpool's high line and defensively weaknesses when we have been conceding a lot of goals this year. We know Aubameyang has been lacking form. Saka is not the most potent goal scorer. Smith-Rowe has only started picking up goals now, but I feel like this is too much of a jump for him and too much pressure to put on him to get the all-important goals against Liverpool. So going into this game, I'm going to predict a very relatively easier win. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Liverpool win. So thank you guys for watching my video. Let me know in the comment section, who do you think is going to win? What the starting lineup you think both managers should play? And just let me know how important this game is. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.